Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this lesson we will discuss that who is the villain in Merchant of Venice. It's a comedy by Shakespeare. So we will discuss that apparently it looks like that Shylock the Jew he is the villain in the play. But through historical perspective uh, the differences between Christians and the Jews and other important incidents of history we will discuss to find out that who is actually the villain in the play. Or can we say that it is Shylock who is actually the villain in the play? So let's start discussing about it. As far as apparently we look at it that Shylock was a villain. If Shylock is a villain, first of all, he is anti-Christian. That is why he is labeled as a villain, as a criminal in this play. That he doesn't like Christians. He actually hates them. But in response, Christians also do not love him. They also hate him. So it is a two-way problem between the Christians and the Jews in the play, like between Antonio and Shylock. So first of all, because he is anti-Christian, that is why he is labeled as a villain. Then lending money on interest. Now there is an interesting point that lending money on interest is forbidden in Christianity, as well as it is forbidden in Jews also. But the Jews, they have the liberty to give money on interest to to the people of other religions. Like a Jew can lend money on interest to Christians or any other religion, the people who are living around them. So in their religion, in both the religions, Christianity and Jews, giving money on interest is not allowed. But Jews, they take the liberty that they give money on interest to people of other religion or people of other communities. And there is a problem of interest rate also. Like a man who has lent you about 1 lakh rupees for 1 year, and he will take you back 1,30,000. It means that 30% interest rate he has taken from you per annum. In the same way, the interest rate was also lowered down by the Christians. So the Jews, they were having high interest rate, the Christians, they were having lower interest rates. And let me give you one example here, that in Islam, in our religion, it is clearly commanded by Allah Almighty that do not be involved in giving and taking money on interest. It is one of the biggest sins. But still, we can see around in Pakistan, in our cities, in our villages, we find many people, those who are actually Muslims, and they give money on interest. So, taking it as we have to differentiate between the religious commandments and the personal nature of human beings, those who are involved in it. Because religion never allows you to give money to do anything that is a sin, or that is a catastrophe or devastating for the people. But these are the people who take decisions, the criminals or those who violate the laws of religion, the laws of the country. So, as it is forbidden in Christianity, it is forbidden in Jews, it is forbidden in Islam, but the people, as I gave you example of Muslims, that we Muslims, we are also involved in it. In our society in Pakistan, we can find many people, apart from the banks. What the banks they give you on interest, that is almost documented. You can say, although it cannot be justified that taking money from bank on interest, it is allowed. No, interest is always interest. But the local people, on their own behalf, they give money. So because he gives money, or Shylock gives money or lends money on interest, that is why he is also labeled as Christian, although there are many others who are involved in the same business. Then he is declared as a villain because he, for his vengeance or revenge, that he wants to take revenge at any cost, by hook or by crook, to show his enmity with Antonio. He is not ready to take twice, thrice, or four times of the actual money, but he is willing to take 1 pound of flesh. So, because he is very stubborn, because he is very harsh natured man, he is not flexible, that is why he is also labeled as a Christian. There is no flexibility in his in his activities or whatever he is doing. He doesn't show any flexibility to any person. That is why he is declared labeled as villain. Now, these are actually the 3 points to label him as a villain: that he doesn't like Christians, he gives money on interest, and he wants to take revenge. If these three qualities, or these three demerits, they are present in almost every second or third person. For example, taking revenge is something that is in the nature of human beings. We, the human beings, we never allow anyone to have any control on our business, or to have any control on our thoughts. So, as a human being, they cannot be controlled to take revenge. Everyone who is been hurt by someone, he's always ready to take revenge, and he waits for the turn. And it happens all around in every community, in every society. So this is not the major point that we can label him as a villain. So you can focus on these 3 points. That these 3 points, they are not as much powerful to declare someone as a villain as they have declared Shylock. And it is also mentioned here that in Shakespeare days, when this play was written, there were very few Jews, those who were written. Only a few number of Jews were living there in London and England, because the rest of the Jews, they were banished from European countries, and they were sent here to the new state, that is Israel was created. It was created in just not in a very long time ago. But before that, all the Jews, they were sent out of the countries. Either they were killed or they were sent out of the countries. So there was a very minute number of Jews, those who were living in England at that time when this play was written. Then, trial of the Shylock. It is also labeled that Shylock is a villain. That during the trial, everyone is asking him for mercy, but he refuses. He is strict to his own thoughts, and he wants to take revenge. So during the trial, he had not shown any mercy. That is why he is considered, or he is thought as villain of the play by many writers. And he is also considered as plotters towards Christians. That the Christians, they believe that the Jews are actually those who hatch conspiracies against them, those who plot schemes against them to devastate them, to create trouble in their lives. So Christians, they believe that the Jews, they can never be their friends, and it was very difficult for them to live along with them. So this enmity between the Christians and the Jews, it has a long history, and they have been fighting with each other for a long time. So Jews, they were never accepted by the Christians in any Christian country. So they were also considered as plotters towards Christians. From these points, like anti-Christian, lending money on interest, taking revenge, his trial, and his attitude towards Christians, these points, they show us that we cannot label Shylock as a villain. For example, Shylock is running a business. If he is giving money on interest, there must have been a policy by the government to ban that, to give money on interest. He is giving money on interest, and with legally that agreement was signed. He signs agreement with everyone. Whenever a legal agreement is signed, it means that the concerned business, or the concerned whatever the work you are doing, it is allowed by the government, by the sitting government. So if giving money on interest had to be stopped, it had to be stopped by the government by issuing order. The government has not issued any order like that, so that everyone was allowed to do any sort of business. He is giving money on interest. Then his only daughter, Before that, Antonio, who had given him a lot of loss in his business, and he takes him as his rival. So when the agreement was signed, the agreement was signed by both the parties, between Shylock and between Antonio, that Shylock will take 1 pound of flesh. So why, the question is, why Antonio signed that? If we start believing that because Shylock was a villain, he was a very bad man, that is why he was stick to his agreement that he will take 1 pound of flesh. Then the major point in this play is why Antonio signed that agreement. When a human being is signing an agreement, it means that you are liable to fulfill all the terms and conditions of the agreement that you have signed. So, if we blame Shylock in signing an agreement of 1 pound of flesh, then we must blame Antonio for signing the same agreement that he happily signed. Although there was a problem that he could not repay the money on the exact date and time, but he signed that agreement. And this agreement was in a way that we cannot put all the burden on Shylock that he was the only one to sign the agreement. So this is again a two-way problem on both the sides. Then taking revenge at any cost, as I already told you, there is no human being who doesn't want to take revenge. There are many few who pardon the enemies, but every time the humans, they are ready to take revenge. Uh, then trial of Shylock. During the trial, he was stick to his own agreement. There was nothing else. He is not demanding anything beyond the agreement. He is demanding whatever is written in the agreement, and it is the right of a person legally who has signed an agreement. The court is bound to give him the relief according to the agreement that it is signed legally. So, in the trial of Shylock, we cannot declare him as a villain. Plotted towards Christians, if the Jews, they were considered as conspirators against the Christians, then there might be Jews, those who start believing Christian as plotters against them. So when there is a problem between two religions or between two sects within a religion, there are good points on both sides, there are bad points on both sides. So we cannot say that it was only Shylock who was against everyone. Even the community was also against him. And this we can see during the trial in the court of the magistrate, when he was rightly saying legally and rightly saying that he wants the agreement to be fulfilled according to its terms and conditions. But what happened? The lawyers, the public, the magistrate, everyone turned against him, and they started asking for mercy. So why no one had asked Antonio that why he made such a blunder, why he signed that agreement? So, in these points, we can very clearly say that although many of the historians, many of the critics, many of the writers, the literary men, they claim that Shylock is a villain, but from the play that we read, according to the human psychology, that how the humans they behave apart from the religion, that whatever the religion he was having, but as far as the humans are concerned, these are the things, these are the qualities, or these are the points, or these are the aspects of human personality. So these aspects, they are stirred up, they are fired, and it is just taken one point that Shylock is a villain. But I personally believe that labeling Shylock as a villain is a gross injustice to the play and to the character of the Shylock in this. I mean, Shylock, if any person put himself on the position of Shylock, that he had lost his business due to Antonio. His only daughter ran away, who deceived him, and ran away with the friend of Antonio, who was again a Christian. There was a ring, a very a memorable ring that Shylock was having, that he had given to his wife. His wife was also dead, so the ring was also taken by his daughter. And again, all the community is against him. So I mean, putting when you have lost everything, your business is at stake, your only daughter has ran away with your enemies, and all your property is almost at stake. Then how the human should behave? Definitely the human, they should behave as Shylock was behaving during the trial, because he was already hurt by so many incidents that he was stick to his point to take revenge from Shylock. But what we say, our many of the books that we study, that labeling Shylock as a villain, or asking that Shylock was the only bad person in the play, there were incidents that forced him to stick to his agreement of taking 1 pound of flesh, because his daughter ran away, uh, and his property was at stake. So what he thought, his business was at stake, because due to Antonio, many of his business, Antonio used to give money without interest, but he used to give money on interest. So his business was also stake. So I'm talking about it because just we have to make a difference, that what the religion commandments are, that is another story, and what the humans they behave, that is another story. So there is not religion I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the nature of the people, nature of the characters in the play, Shylock and Antonio. So when he is already hurt by the elope of his daughter with a Christian, by the memorable ring that is already gone, by the business that is already spoiled, by the hate that he has received from the community. So what should a man do when everything is lost? Definitely he will go for revenge. So that is why at the end he was not showing any mercy. So this is another aspect of the character of Shylock. We cannot label him as a complete villain. There are other incidents also that has forced him to take such steps. Although when it was asked to him that he should show some mercy, he might have shown some mercy, because but the things that he had already lost, and he was so much already in a turmoil in his mind. So that is why he stuck to his point. And every human being, whoever could have been at the place of Shylock, and in our, even in a natural life that we are living in our daily life routines, if same things happen, that your business is gone, is at stake, your daughter ran away, your property is at stake, you have been looked down upon by the community, then what would you do? Definitely you will take the only option to take revenge from your enemies. And same the Shylock was doing, and that is the human psychology, human nature. So I personally believe that labeling Shylock as the villain is a gross injustice. Now let's talk about some histories that in Christian countries, wherever the Jews they lived, they were always not treated well by the Christians, because Christians they believe that whatever the problems, whatever the disasters they occur in their country, it is because of the Jews. So it was a kind of myth, it was a kind of belief by the Christians that the Jews they are actually the real trouble creators. There is a great incident in the 14th century that is known as Black Death. Black Death was, there was a plague. Plague means a viral disease, as we have nowadays this coronavirus, COVID-19. So a similar kind of disease spread all around, because when you read human history, we can find almost in every community that there have been some viral diseases that used to transfer from one person to another. They have been there in the history in almost each and every community. So in black, many of the people they died due to that viral disease in 14th century. So it was declared as Black Death. Black Death means that death all around. So they thought, now the Christians, because at that time no one knew that it is due to the viral disease or others, and or those who knew it, even they kept silent, and they start blaming the Jews for the Black Death. They said that Black Death has occurred because of Jews, because the Jews they have mixed poison in the wells where the Christian they take out water to drink. So all the wells they were poisoned by the Jews according to the Christians, and they thought, the Christians they believed, not thought but believed, that the deaths occurring in their countries are because of the Jews, those who are living in their countries, and they have poisoned the water. And definitely, when they are drinking a poisoned water, they will die. So they were not blaming the plague, they were not blaming the disease, they were blaming the Jews. and definitely the Jews, they have claimed that they never mixed any poison in the wells. So this was a kind of trouble between the two communities, Christian and Jews, that has been that has a prolonged history. Like now we are talking about in the 14th century, that in 14th century they were also, and due to this many of the Jews, they were killed by the Christian governments, by the Christian people, that because they believe that their wells have been poisoned by the Jews. So as a result, many of them were killed. George Fredrickson is a writer who wrote a lot about these Jews and Christians. Again and again, escape for whatever fears and anxieties were uppermost in the minds of the anti-Semitics. Now he says that whatever the problems they occur in the Christians' mind, anti-Semitics means those who are against Jews. So George Fredrickson, he believed that whenever any problem occurred, whenever any disaster occurred, the Christians, those who were anti-Jews, they believed that it is all happening due to the Jews. So the scapegoats, they were the Jews, they were made the scapegoats. And a time came in Europe when they just passed an order, almost by all the governments in Europe, that no Jew was allowed to live in Europe. They could not live in any country, so they were banished from their countries, because they believed that whatever bad is happening to the Christians, it is happening to the Jews. And though the countries or the cities where the Jews could not leave the cities and countries, they were killed by the Christians. So the problem has been prolonged, prolonged problem between the Christians and the Jews. So this was all about the historical enmity between these two communities. So according to the facts that have been mentioned in the play Merchant of Venice, we can say that although in many of the, when you read different authentic websites, you read key books written by different writers, they believe that Shylock was a villain. But when we discuss it in detail, then we come to know that labeling Shylock as a villain and putting every allegation on Shylock, that will be an injustice to this play.